7:02, we'll call the meeting to order for Clear Creek Township. Myself, Thelma Jeffries, Tony Jeffries, and Joanne Calabrese are here. Dustin was unavailable this evening. And got that. Minutes. Yep.
Okay, January 6th, we met at Harrodsburg Township office. The meeting was called to order at 5 o'clock. Attendees were Thelma, Tony, Stephen, Dustin, myself, and 4 community members. It was pretty much a business meeting. We elected township board officers, Stephen Hines for president. I moved, Dustin seconded. Joanne Calabrese for secretary, Stephen moved, Dustin seconded, and it was approved. Then we looked at the guidelines for township assistants, which we had been given, so we reviewed those. Dustin motioned to approve. Steve seconded, carried, and all signed the form. Conflict of interest, we had reviewed that. Dustin motioned to approve, Joanne seconded, and it carried, all signed this form. Annual financial report, Stephen motioned to approve, Joanne seconded, it carried, and all signed. Minutes from the December 25th meeting were read by Dustin and approved. Financial reports, end of the year annual balances. The rainy day fund had $3,109.81. General funds, $123,493.02. Township assistance, $229,599.60. Rec fund was $76,224.46. Harrodsburg total was 18,000, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I think this $18,442.99 in savings. They have $17,552.89. Invested $10,515.73. Smithville Community Center had an ending balance of $6,045.04. In savings, they had $7,400. And Smithville Area Association wasn't there, but we're going to get it again. Update on projects. Smithville Community Center. Amber, and Amber's last name is what, Nancy? That I guess it doesn't matter. Amber's using the room across the hall from the one she's renting for $100 to store materials, and she's paying $500 to rent the unit. The other unit next to her is progressing. We talked about heat in the hallways as a problem. All Seasons is coming to look to see what can be done. The concession stand area has been renovated. The big thing that pulls down is not working, so the area is open. Lots of discussion about the countertop in there. Before other garage can be renovated, area association stuff needs to be removed. We talked about that before. Some discussion about signage for the building, for Smithville Community Center, and more discussion about what can be done about coordinating our calendars. We talked about bids for the water situation, which are due today. Harrodsburg floors were reported as being finished and well done. We'll come back and clean and rebuff. Old business, I see nothing. New business, I see nothing. We talked, Stephen, we talked about cameras for Harrodsburg, and Stephen motioned that the cameras be upgraded after researching options, so that was tabled. The meeting was then adjourned at 6:11. Did you sign one?
Nope, but I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Oh, I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Financial reports. Township, Tony?
Okay, now these are budget balances. General, and I think I'll just start leaving off the cents.
Good
Want to do a
idea.
motion for
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I think we can deal with whole dollars right now.
Okay. General, $220,895.
Okay.
Township assistance, $72,922. Recreation, now there's two sections. First section is recreation, $70,963. And then the capital improvement fund, $180,835. And then rainy day balance, we still have $3,109 in.
And what was the rec capital outlay?
Current capital outlay balance is $180,835. And the actual cash balance is $390,370.26. $370.
Okay. And then you sent that to.
Will be used, be able to be used the whole year, or is that a starting fund, you get that all at one time?
No, that fund, when we started at the first of the year, and by the end of the year, we just use it for that budget year.
All right. Harrodsburg.
We emailed them to you.
I know.
What-
Did you get them? He sent them.
I got them. I got them.
I'll have to admit, I looked at the gun rifle one before I looked at the other one.
I would say it was somewhere in the 17,000 change,
It's always some big numbers.
17,002.
She normally adds those for the next.
Okay, I got them.
There it is.
In checking,
It's the same.
oh, as it was last time.
Yeah, you added the January 12th numbers. That's what you just read off a minute ago, was those numbers.
Well, that's what he that's what he sent me, so
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yep.
It is now.
Yeah.
Whatever I said it was, it is now. Do
Still is.
you want me to read it again?
No.
No, we're good. All right. Smithville Community Center, Nancy gave us the breakdown. They had an ending balance of $11,213.57. A lot of activity going on in the building. We're fortunate now to have 4 units hard rented. We've got 2 more that will be rented as soon as they're finished. We've already got contracts for them. Did we get Will's back?
Not yet, no.
Okay. So we have two pledges to rent the 2 additional spaces we're renovating right now. So that will leave only 2 spaces in the entire building that are open. After having a vacant building, it's kind of nice to 5 months later have all but 2 spoken for. So a lot of activity, and after the meeting concludes, I figured I'd show people kind of the work that's been going on. I know not a lot of people have seen this building in a very long time, so we'll show it off a little bit. So once it gets done and renovated, I'd like to have kind of a open house for people to come in and see it when it's done, have the businesses open up and come in and take a look at it. But we're pretty proud of the work that's been going on here and can't wait to see it finished.
We're proud of this room.
This room, yeah. I think since the last time we've been here, it's been fully done, and you'll see a lot of this carry throughout the building. We use the same type of floor throughout, same kind of colors, so looks pretty good going through. So
Savings balance, you didn't tell them our savings. We've got a checking balance of 11,213, and we've got a savings balance of 7,400.
where's that at?
It's on the back.
Oh, yeah. So savings balance is 7,400. So we're doing well compared to where we were
Trying to
at.
hold it in there, yep.
So
I would like to ask, what are you charging for rent spaces? Can you clarify that?
currently,
The smaller units, the units that are down there, we're looking at $600 and $700 a unit. If they pay for it by the year, we do give them a bit of a discount. So instead of paying, well, there's $500 and $600 a unit.
5 and 6, I was gonna say no
5
7.
and 6, because if they pay for it by the year, instead of paying 6,000, we allow them to do 5,000, because they only pay in one check, and I don't have to keep tracking them down. Otherwise, it's 500. The two fronter units are front facing and a little bigger, so those were 6,000, or 600 a month each. So the big room, we're asking 600 for that one, and we're gonna be asking 5 for the other two smaller units that are on the side. So we are in fair market. When I looked it up to see how much they charged in town, we're a little under them, which I feel we need to be because of where we're located, and we're a good deal. But we're not so far under them that we're undercutting ourselves, so we are within a fair
So that
market.
600 include utilities?
No, they pay their own electricity, we take care of the water, trash removal, and,
Internet.
I'm sorry?
Wi-Fi too.
Yeah, water,
Yeah,
trash, and
there's
Wi-Fi.
public Wi-Fi that is available. If they want it private, they've got to do that themselves. They got to put in their own phone system. But the units that we renovate have electric heat that are in them, so they're doing their own electric. So that takes that off of ours.
The big thing is whenever we first set those rents, it was when the building had been renovated and set empty for about 6 months. We went from no bites, no bites, no bites. First business moved in, and then 3 more followed right after. It was as soon as we got the first person in the building, then more signed on the leases. So, I do plan on looking at after the building's full that second year, what is true fair market, how are things looking, and adjust. But
I think that we still want to keep rent low just so it can be passed down to the community.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. I think we've discussed that our whole main purpose is to serve the community. So we don't wanna outprice, we're not in it to make a gob of money.
no.
But the good news is that the majority of the businesses that are in here are accommodating the young people. You've got Diamond Dynamics, you have Amber Clark who she teaches homeschool, so the children that work with her do arts and crafts, sewing, choir, cheerleading, and that type of stuff, and she's one that's actually gonna take another unit because it's expanded so much, she needs more space. We've got a gentleman who is going to rent the bigger room, we always refer to it as the dragon room. There's a larger open space for weightlifting. He did, and tell me if I'm wrong, he did training for some Olympics or whatever for weightlifting.
Yeah, he does.
So he's very active in that. So it is community oriented, and I'd like to see it stay in that fashion, that we're actually helping the young people in the area. Another question?
Yeah, who was that pivotal first company? The first tenant?
The first tenant was actually,
Diamond
Dynamics was our
Yeah.
first
Right,
tenant,
yeah.
but they aren't as visible as what the security company is. And since the security company come in, I think it did 2 things for us. One, it showed activity, and it showed a force for security. That, there were people here all the time that could monitor and make sure the building was safe.
Yeah. Now we just get the dog to quit pooping on our front door.
Did it get what?
The dog that walks through here poops at our front door every day.
You got a dog that does that every day?
Every day. The lady walks him right by and she poops right by the front door.
Oh, is it Sidley?
Is
Every
it
day.
Sidley? Is it Sidley?
I'm asking.
The lady that lives right up here on Walnut. Yeah, she walks by every day, and I come in at 8 a.m. and there he is, right at the front door.
We know who that is too, but it's not
I just
Sidley.
laugh. Yeah, the lady that walks, she'll cut through here, and then she walks up and down Smithville. Yeah, every day, right there by our bush at our front door. And I'm like,
Why would she walk her dog to your front door?
she just walks through on the little road in front, and at least he goes right up there to our front door. And when that snow melted, it was just a pile.
You get a spray from that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's.
And once Will gets established, he wants to get it to put emphasis in corner.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's been good. My employees like it. We've been in town of Bloomington for so long. it's kind of nice not having to shoo people away from our building or anything like that, or just the random trash. So,
It's just dogs.
yeah, look, I'll deal with the dog. Like I can deal with that. But I just thought it was funny when that snow melted. I'm like, what in the heck? Well, you know, with the snow, I could see it, but yeah, it's fun, and we're, you know, we were a new company doing some expansion, so we moved everything here out in a rush, and now we're starting to reduce out, get rid of a bunch of vehicles, move a bunch of equipment. But yeah, it was fun to come out here. That was the first thing I did. Our company was 3 days old when we moved it in here, so it was nice. And then when Amber moved in, which I get to see about a third of her new clients, they all come in our door. Where's the homeschool? Out around the corner. So yeah, they all walk in our building, but it is nice having other activity. So
Does Diamond Dynamics have access to the new bathrooms and everything?
No, they have access to whatever.
Diamond Dynamics?
Yes, they can go down there. and use those restrooms.
Nobody knows that.
We don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't think they do
His
that.
kids normally go right here.
Does that come with a batting cage too?
yeah.
Yeah, that's still pending.
Yeah. Hey, we got them up on the turf out there. We just didn't get the turf rolled out. So yeah, we were waiting on
Dustin
that.
says if we say batting cages one more time in his hearing, he's gonna get angry.
Oh, I have no doubt. So that was a point of contention. But we got to figure out the parking here. I had no access to my building Saturday and Sunday, so I had to park somewhere else and walk over.
Well, when we start the farmer's market,
Well, we're I explained this to Nancy. All of our vehicles will be moved for your farmer's market Saturday. We've got another property right up the road. For Labor Day, we'll have all of our vehicles moved out. So there will be nothing of ours here during your big weekends.
That
So-
was the one thing that the individuals that are renting from us, that we have explained to them on Friday. During the summer, there is a farmer's market and parking would be at a premium. So we ask that they not have any special events to accommodate that, and for the Labor Day celebration, because those are two big events that the Smithville Area Association does that we want to help to support. But parking is a major issue. We do need to look at how we're going to do the parking, because as these units fill, these people have clients. And part of what they'll talk about today, so now can I just get on my soapbox?
Hold on, wait a minute. Let's
Wait,
this is the big
I want to mention that the community center committee has been talking about the parking too, so
Yeah.
that's,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Everybody's used to it.
Yeah.
We'll come back to you here in a minute. Smithville Area Association. Patty, do you got yours?
yeah, our balance in our account, $16,092.14. And we were able to, I mean, Rosie could say a little more. We picked out two expenses to finish off, mostly on our remodel. One was the window transom above, and we paid for that. It was a little over $600, and then we paid $1,600 to finish the quarter round around the edges of the building to just finish it off. So.
On work. So you guys is all ready now. I haven't been over there since it's been redone.
Because Rosie knows all the little details. I think painters have come in and touched up a bit. I don't think we've got too much more on there. It's looking good.
Yeah, your meeting always matches up with another meeting of mine every month. So I got to sneak in beforehand like I did to Harrodsburg. All right. So that finishes the financial project. Cameras at Harrodsburg. How much you asking for?
How much are we asking for?
Well, hold on. I guess I phrased that wrong.
Well, the proposal you gave me was what, $1,100?
Yep.
I'm having Austin look it over to see if there's something he thinks he can get it
Is
installed
Austin,
for us.
is Austin B-Tech?
No.
Oh, that's the other guy.
The new kid that's joined our committee.
Well, I contacted B-Tech,
Uh-huh.
left him an email, he hasn't still gotten back with me.
So did
That's
they
what-
talk about?
Putting some type of alarm
You
system on there, smoke
talked
alarm,
last time about that.
motion after hours.
So what we ended up, I went and met with Rich before a meeting, walked around, looked at the building, looked at the power, looked at the system they currently have. They were sold a system through Smithville, cannot be upgraded, cannot be expanded, cannot be accessed if rarely. It's just a really bad system for what they needed. So I met with him and ended up giving him last week. Was it last week? Last week I gave him upgrading him to a full cloud-based system. The system that it's got has an alarm system that can be attached. It's got, I just looked yesterday, they've got where they can add the smoke alarms, can also be run through the app. But it will give them full coverage and infinitely expandable cameras inside and outside. But with doing that, it also upgrades the Wi-Fi capabilities of the building. So it should really see a Wi-Fi similar to what we've got here, where in the park, they'll be able to pick Wi-Fi up from the building. So it can be set up 2-band like here. So you have one.
Is it B-Tech or somebody else?
No, it's B-Tech couldn't even do the wiring for the $1,100 that this is going to cost. And it gives them a 24-port switch, 2 routers.
Ooh.
I mean, it sets it up to where it can be expanded
Right.
for a long time.
Did you want to go with more ports?
Yeah, well, the problem is if we just did like an 8, eventually it's going to have to be upgraded.
Yeah.
But since they've got fiber into the building, if B-Tech, we do the alarm or the smoke detectors, or eventually have to do anything else with alarm systems, they're going to have their own dedicated ports in it. So it's not an expense we're going to have to find later. You do it once and it's done. But with fiber, everything's going to be online. But the big thing is it's going to add a second router towards the, what is that, west end of the building, that when you're out at the park or the basketball court, the Wi-Fi will reach out there. So we can have the same thing we do here, is where the park you'll have Wi-Fi access, you'll have Wi-Fi access at the Harrisburg Park. So, and we can make it
great
separate.
for the vendors, for the
all of your vendors.
Heritage Station.
And they can do a 2-band systems like we have here, where you've got one that's locked that you control who has it, and the second one that's open for public use. So that way it won't slow down, and you can dictate between the two who gets the priority. But it'll make the market and the festival a little bit better for your vendors, and it helps out.
So should we move to go ahead and do this? Last meeting we tabled it.
Yeah,
So-
I think we go ahead and, I would, I think it was 1,100 and something with everything. I would probably do 1,500 just in case you've got to get patch cable, little odds and end. I don't think you will, but just in case there's miscellaneous expenses just to make the wiring work. But
Hey, what do you think? I was wondering if they get that first section, you want to get smoke alarms and get some type of alarm notification? Or?
yeah, I think you get the initial setup, and then you can add those on, and it's nothing. So I think you get it in and get it set up and make sure everything's working. And then it's like a $10 per month cost to monitor all the cameras. But it will also, if you add an alarm, it'll add that. If you add a smoke detector, it'll add that. But I think you get it in and get it set up, make sure the bugs are worked out, and then you can add additional
I was
things.
going to say that we'd really like, as soon as possible, to have smoke detectors. The motion sensors,
I'm just saying.
it's nice to have, but you know, if God forbid there was a fire, we wouldn't know till
Yeah.
it was gone.
With the 1,500 though, wouldn't you?
It would allow,
add that?
yeah, they're not that expensive add-ons, but yeah, you could get it installed and then add a couple, one in the kitchen, one in the main area, one up front, 2 of the rooms, so you probably have to add 5 in there. 1 in the museum, 1 in the back storage, kitchen, probably 2 in the main area. But those you can add on, and that extra little bit would cover that if necessary.
We get a door entry system too with it. Does it work on that?
You could, yeah.
If we found a good one?
Yeah. But you get this in and get it up and running, then you can start the little add-ons. So get your cameras, which is what it was originally proposed as. So
Right.
go in, get the cameras, and once we know they work and the Wi-Fi's working, then start adding. But say the 2 Wi-Fi points don't work, there's enough money in there, you could add a third one to boost it a little bit more. So, but yeah, I think I'll make a motion to approve $1,500 for it.
I'll second that motion.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
So, but yeah, that gives you a little room to play in case. I mean, you guys are always good stewards of the funds we offer. So,
And we're going to do Smithville or Redmond Hall after that one's in.
yeah, I think that's just
Progression that way.
yeah. That way, and yeah. So, all right, now on to the bids for the water situation. We did get 3 bids. Travis was unable to be here this evening, but he was working all day next to me and came over at the end of the day when he knew for sure he wouldn't be here, and had a conversation with me. We had 3 different bids. 2 were very similar in cost. One was about $20,000 more than the other 2. So let's see. First bid we had was Coons Excavating. Their total bid was $44,000 for all work. They do have the rock clause in there. As we've learned before, there is a chance they hit rock in that back area. So there's very high risk. The second one was Mitchell's Excavating. Their bid came in at $40,600. I did meet with them and Travis a couple different times. And then Reed & Sons Construction came in, same exclusions for rock work. They came in at $60,900. So, yes, Nancy.
What exactly are they gonna do?
So what they're going to do is basically take down all of the area between the gym and the north end of the building.
In the back?
In the back. They're going to take all those down, get it into a level grade with grading to allow the water to run. They're going to extend the 3-foot clay tile drain that's already there back into the corner back there and put another in-ground drain where the water collects. They're going to run all gutters into that 3-foot drain. And then they're also going to put in foundation drains around the buildings to run the water back to that main 3-foot drainage ditch. We're finding that the water, when the rains came and the snow hit, we were able to track when the puddle in the back stopped, like when it disappeared, the water in the basement stopped. But when it was full of water, we had a steady flow downstairs. They tried to dye it. It didn't make all the way through because we didn't have enough rain. But meeting with Mitchell's, and they also had Tacon come out with them to help, they are fairly confident that somewhere, either clay or limestone, there's a direct drain from the back end of that parking lot straight down to that corner in the basement. So, I mean, it was visible. They came out numerous days, and as the water went down in the back parking lot, the water in the basement stopped. So it was a direct correlation. So they think if they can get all of that water gone, it will prevent that. Problem is right now, they said the water just stays in the ground so much, it never gets a chance to dry up and block it. They said it's just a constant stream. So they feel pretty confident if they dig it all up, put in the right foundation drains, it may not completely stop it, but it should prevent any further water from getting down there.
Okay. I'm sorry, but which one are you talking about?
So that was Mitchell's Excavating.
Okay.
I did not. Coons and Reed dealt exclusively with Travis because I don't know when they came out. But Mitchell was out here probably 6 to 7 times, like during different weather.
So after they dig it up, they're going to put it back so that the parking will be more adequate than what it is now?
So
and
yeah.
Will you be able to get into those units that are in that little cubby hole?
It wasn't included in this scope, but their other concern was they're going to get the slope right and all the grading right in the back, but they said eventually we will have to do something off the hill in the back, which means probably put in a retaining wall with a foundation drain. So they said even fixing the parking lot, all your water is running straight from those fields down here. So they said eventually you'll have to put a retaining wall up and probably a foundation. They said that wasn't included in this scope, so they didn't do it. But they said they will fix the parking lot, but you're still going to have a lot of water coming off those parks. If you look at it, it slopes down from the top across the partial field and down, and that will eventually have to be addressed. But they're going to work what they can to grade that out to try to push it all into that new drainage pipe to get it out of here. So they'll do with it as best they can, but they said eventually there'll need to be more work after this, but we won't know until they get done.
Does
So,
it give any kind of timeline? I mean,
Mitchell said they could be done in 2 weeks.
Starting.
If whatever we decide, Coons did not give an exact timeline, and Travis didn't mention Reed's timeline. Mitchell's, I know when they were here, I said, I'd like to have it done by spring. He said, if we get the bid, I'll be done in 2 weeks. So he'll put all of his crew here. And that includes, we made a mention, they are going to hand dig around the back air conditioner to get all that done. So one of them didn't want to mess with the rear air conditioner. They said they wanted to bring in a crane and detach it and move it, and we're like, that's not possible. So we made that, which I'm sure that's why Reed's was high, is hand digging that entire area back there is going to be a chore. But to get the water, you're going to have to hand dig around that pad up against the building to clear it out. So, but his did include the hand digging around that.
So the foundation is still solid?
Yes. Yeah.
So they don't have to do anything to the foundation?
No. So the problem is where that water leak is along this wall here, there is no foundation beyond that. It's all sand, clay, dirt.
Fill.
And yeah, just fill. So he said the problem is in a situation like that, water over time just makes a path. And he said it's basically a straw that's running through. Chances are it's probably hitting the thing of limestone and running down and into that corner. But he does feel, at least the ones I talked to, that getting rid of the standing water and getting it out to the road will prevent a lot of the problems. And at least will let us dry out back there, which it's probably not been dry in that parking lot in years.
Since the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to grade it out a few years ago. It was graded incorrectly, and it made the water worse instead of better. But they're going to dig around all of the building and get it cleared out. On the north end, there's another drain over there. They'll run it out through that drain and out the end. So the big thing is they did some work for us at the fairgrounds, and when the 100-year rain hit last year, the carnival grounds that they did not have standing water on it. So they're pretty comfortable with getting rid of water. But they were honest. They're like, it may or may not fix it, but this is your best shot to fix the basement. Because he said fixing the basement would require putting a piece of equipment down there and digging it out. And I'm like, that sounds expensive. He said, absolutely right. But he's like, if we can get it to where it stops the running water, then the fix is easier than trying to find the water. So, but yeah, it's down between Coons, but Travis's recommendation was go with Mitchell's. They were the lowest bid, but he said he felt the most confident that they were going to get the job done and able to understand the true scope of work. So, was that the impression you got from him, or did you talk to him about it?
I talked to him a little bit about it, because he met with all of them, and he gave them all the same scope, as far as what we were wanting, and he asked a lot of questions.
He did.
So, yeah, and his comment to me was he thought Mitchell would do.
That's what he told me today at the end. So, you have any more questions? Tony, Thelma? Considering when the Corps gave us a bid, it was what, 80,000?
Mm-hmm.
So it's already cut in half from the original bid we got a year and a half ago.
So is the money appropriated? Do we have the money?
Did we have the money appropriated for that in the cap outlay?
We didn't put that much in there.
What did we put in it for the project?
I
think
got
I've got
here.
it.
It's at the township. Yeah, we've got 180,000 in capital outlays. We just gotta be careful where we
You
spend
indicated
it.
as long as it stayed under 50,000, that it would be fine.
That was the
But
key.
at the last meeting, and just something that really needs to be done back there, so that
Well, my thing is, we've talked about it for 2 years.
Yeah.
And for far too long, when we had stuff, I mean, I've been on this board 6 years, and for 2 years of it, we talked a lot and did nothing. The first 2 years that this board, current board, has been together, we did a lot of planning and action, but the last 2 years, I feel like we're starting to get stuff done, and that will be a big step towards something that's been a problem in the township in a while. I mean, we got Redmond remodeled. This is starting to bring in some people. Harrodsburg and running smooth. I feel like that's a good use to get that addressed. And if they can get it done pretty quick, especially before farmers market, that's going to open up additional parking in the back of the building.
Well, we've got a renter that's gonna have to use that.
there's gonna
parking
need
lot.
to use space
So,
back there.
Yeah, but I mean,
Before it was plus or minus, now that he has to use that area,
Yeah.
there's nowhere else for him to go.
so I mean, it's going to make it way more accessible and usable for everybody. So I feel like it needs done, and hopefully it alleviates the water in the basement, or at least gives us a better idea where it's at. So if we could just stop the water from coming in, then we can work on a fix.
So are we comfortable that Travis I mean, he's the one that's talked with them. And
He's
the
talked to
one that's
all of
done
them
it.
extensively.
Does that sound okay to you, people down there at the other end of the?
So when we started at 80 and we ended
Oh,
at
yeah.
40, that's way better. We all thought 80 was too much, so I'm glad we put a pause in it and restarted. And like I said, I know Mitchell's. I mean, of course, I know Shannon and Buck from Reed and Sons too, but you know, I think either one of the three, when they say they're going to do it, they're going to do it. So.
Like Todd said, I highly encourage you to move forward with it for the simple fact that we've got a renter that's coming in back there, and like we said, parking is going to be at a premium for all of us, and if that would open that up. I mean, there is, but it's just, right now, if you look back there, it's a mucky mess.
And I plan on getting rid of that I-beam that's been buried back there for years.
Oh,
I'm going to request that one come out. I didn't see it in this,
I
but
tried to have that.
that sucker's coming out.
Well, just make them the option. We'll give it to you, you do this.
I got a nice huge mark on my left shin from yesterday when I was out there. I forgot about
That thing
it.
was 75% gone. There was.
Yeah, well, it's the perfect shin height, and it got me yesterday. That hurt.
Okay, I'm going to move that we accept the bid from
Mitchell Excavating.
Ms. Mitchell Excavating.
I
Have him get
second.
started. All right, all those
So all in favor? Aye. So
I need you.
So will you call him?
I will interrupt you. In the men's restroom, there's a room in the men's restroom that's overflowing, so we shut it off.
You know,
With the bid, how are they
Something
finishing
overflow.
the surface? I mean, is it going to be stone or parking? They're talking about parking.
You know, you're going to have to ask Stephen when he gets back here, or Travis, because I haven't looked at these.
I was just curious.
I hope.
Well, yeah, what was the question?
He asked
Are
if,
they finished, how is it going to be finished if they're parking? Are they putting stone on it?
I think stone initially, and then
I just wondered how.
We've had money put
If it's
aside
that
for-
lucky, it's not gonna take long for that stone to disappear. If it's permanent parking, it wouldn't be a bad idea. They've got some material you can put underneath that stone. In about 5 years, you will save by keep bringing more stone in.
I think the plan is eventually to pave, but I think we're gonna come up with a solid parking plan.
And then I guess my other question would be around
put
those
that on Travis's
drainage
list for
tiles.
tomorrow. We need a new handle for the urinal.
Thank you.
Yep, the valve's getting stuck open.
okay, Ty has some
How are
questions.
they finishing the surface? Is it,
It'll be all gravel.
they're bringing
Yeah,
stone in?
yeah, they'll bring stone in. Yeah, and they'll multi-layer it. They'll put some heavy duty and then put a finish rock on top. We did tell them during the process that eventually that will be paving. So that's kind of where they're looking at, is getting some kind of substrate down that will allow for easier paving in the future. But they said we will have to put that retaining wall in before we do a paving. But they're going to finish it with.
And they've got some material you put underneath that stone that in about 5 years, because a lot of that stone's gonna disappear, you know.
Well, they're hoping they can get down to clay, which a lot of that is back there, and then pack it down. But I can mention it to him, and then
Where you know a vehicle's gonna be parking every day, it's worth that material under the stone.
what's
It
the?
just keeps that
Do you know what the
stone-
material is?
Well, a lot of places put it in, and he's gonna know exactly. what
I'm sure he
it's
will.
called.
I mean, he does work all over
I
town.
really wasn't a believer in it. We put it in going into one of our barns, and we have not touched that driveway in 20 years, 15 years. It just holds that stone up. It's a plastic material.
Oh, the gridding. Are you talking about the gridding that
Yeah,
you fill
it's
through?
A roll. It's
Yeah.
a roll that it is.
I'm actually looking at.
I would put something around that drainage tile. You're gonna get, like you said, so much water coming off that hill. The last thing you wanna do is spend that much money, and if your drain, it'd be nice even to pave 4 foot around that. And when they do that, no more than, even if you put like 2 yards of concrete around those tile, otherwise, there's that possibility, when you get those big rains, that tile could just fill up.
All right.
Like a concrete skirt.
Yeah,
Can you-
a skirt.
Okay. Said concrete skirt around the drain?
Yeah. It just helps the water get in the drain and not all the rock and the dirt
Yeah.
and the debris.
And like I said, this is stuff I don't know, but now that you mention it, whenever we talk to them about this, be like, hey, I need a price for this and this, and what's it going to cost us? I mean,
And the nice thing is, if you do go back and pave it, they can pave right up to that concrete pad where the drain is.
yeah, because that was one of the things I asked them. They're not going to, because they're a huge concrete box that the current drains in. And I asked about, they're going to core drill into it so that way that pipe runs through it. So we've still got a little reservoir in the middle. But if they can secure that building or that drain out there, it may help for later on. But I mean, there's going to be quite a bit of water going into it. So,
Yeah, it'll get a lot off that hill.
and that's what he said. And he told me, I mean, we stood out there and he's like, your water is not from this lot. He said, it's coming from right there. So he said, I'll fix your lot. But he said, you're going to want to put in like a 4-foot retaining wall with a French drain on the backside that pushes your water out and around.
To do it right, that's really what you need to do.
And that's what he said. He goes, so when they're doing this, because I told him, I'm like, you're the water expert. So if you're telling me that's going to have to happen, when you're doing this, can you kind of set us up that when we're ready, that can be done? So
You really can't do it because you got to go back and dig a footer.
yeah.
But
Yeah, hopefully, and I know Gabe and then Dusty Taylor will be out here helping with him. And I told them, I'm like, hey, keep an eye on it. But yeah, they're good guys, and they're not going to do anything halfway. When I mention this, they'll get it back to us, and hopefully it may not be that big of an add-on, and we can next month sit and go, hey, they want to add this and this, and I think it's going to be worth it. So, but I'll have Travis mention that to both of them.
it'll save you a lot down the road when you pour that pavement, lay that pavement up to it if you have that concrete. And the last thing you want to happen is you put those drainage pipes and they just fill up with
Crap.
dirt, rock, all kinds of stuff. Because that when it rains, it's going to go down that pipe.
Yeah, we were shocked when we had them camera the main drain, the big 3-foot clay tile. The guy actually just shucked his shoes and walked through the whole thing. And shockingly, that pipe's still intact from the back all the way to the road. So he said there was no nothing. But where they've got the box in the middle, it's about 18 inches off the ground. So a lot of that stuff falls down into the box before it goes out. So they said that's probably what saved us a lot of the clogging. We were shocked no tree roots were in it. So between everything out here. But yeah, so I will mention both of those two things to them, and or I'll mention it to Travis and let Travis deal with them that way, because I'll see him in the morning. But both good ideas, and we'll ask him about it. I'd rather get done right than... I'm a big proponent of fix it once and forget about it for 40 years or so. Makes it a lot easier.
I'd get an estimate just so
Oh, yeah.
Tony knows at least what the retaining wall's going to cost. Because I'm not convinced that you're going to fix anything until you get that in. But hopefully it will. But that's where all the water comes from.
15,000.
Well, the problem is that right now it's sitting up against the building and in pits and valleys. So hopefully getting rid of those pits and valleys, we can alleviate a little bit and then get the retaining wall.
I know.
Who would do the
They want to do
retaining
the
wall?
first-
Probably these 3 same companies, we'd have come out and say, hey, all right, now we got the lot done. How much is it going to cost us to put that retaining wall in? So, but we'll let them see while they're out here. And I'll get it to Travis, or you can get it to Travis one, but I see him daily. All right, so that concludes the water situation.
Did you vote?
Yes,
Okay. I didn't
it was
hear
before the plumbing emergency.
I'm sorry, I got.
And we were all in favor.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, definitely a new valve. Heat in the hallway for here.
We had issues down this one, we just need to turn the heat up, which means that tank 3 for this area, LP will be higher, but at least the hallways are warmer. Down at the other end, The furnace down there works fine. The problem is, it works fine in that one little bitty room. But there's only 2 vents that hit into the hallway. I went out and purchased 2 electric heaters to go at the end of those hallways just to get it heated because it was friggin' cold. And I called All Seasons about coming out and running some new duct. They never got back with me.
True still hadn't returned my call either.
And so we've got someone that has to come out and do a little bit of other stuff, so I'm still trying to find somebody, but right now, we've got a temporary situation, which is just that, a temporary
Going from
situation.
winter to
And it's 50 degrees
I
outside.
like you to have them check these two, because there's no heat going to the bathrooms.
Okay. All right.
What we were finding is down on that end, a lot of the flex pipe was crushed from people up in the attic and all that. They just, the tubes got
And there's
unhooked,
2
they got
places.
crushed.
You should have one down by the wood doors. There's one that's by the interior doors. There's nothing at the end of those hallways. And so you're just not getting a good heat distribution. So I will mention that the heat's not getting into the restrooms up here too, Todd, and let Travis know so when they have someone out, they can do that. Thank you.
And snow plowing, I hope we're done with snow plowing.
Well, I hope so too, but Dustin brought my attention to this, that the plowing, who does the plowing?
Luke Watson.
Luke Watson. But Luke didn't really get rid of snow so the building could be
He did the circle drive and
operational.
that's it.
He did the drive. Dustin said, which I didn't know, he's our fireman right here that's gone, that snow was pushed up against the gym doors.
No, it wasn't pushed up against. It was
Pardon?
It wasn't pushed up against, it just wasn't clear. It was
Oh,
just
you
the-
couldn't get out you couldn't get out the gym door. If there was a fire, you couldn't have escaped.
use a fire
Yeah,
exit.
he didn't.
And that would have made me sad. So I don't know what I want to say about that, but
I don't
whoever's
think-
plowing needs to be sure that everything is clear around the building.
Yeah.
I think there's something that should be said. This was an extraordinary event with this snowfall, and he could have done a better job, but we have to remember that this is like, when have we had a snow
Well-
hit like this?
We're gonna need to,
He doesn't know, I mean, I don't think he knows.
well, we're gonna need to fine tune them because this is the guy that
A lot of
did it
people
last
moved
year
in.
passed away.
Right.
Well, and like I said too, when we signed the contract for snow removal, this building had nobody in it but DD, so it would have made sense to loop that. We've now since added businesses around, so he didn't know that, I mean, they weren't even in our
Yeah.
thought process when we signed that snow contract next year.
Yeah, so I think the idea of him coming out, hopefully, that will be our last big snow for this year, that he comes out and talks with Todd, security, to know
Amber.
exactly what we need cleared and how quickly. Because I think, don't they do something like when it's so many inches hit, they actually come out at
Yeah, I
that
think
time?
2.5 inches, 3
But-
inches.
Yeah, we're normally a 3-inch
So that
trigger on
he
all
knows
ours.
exactly what needs to be cleared.
We had a issue in Harrisburg too. I called Tony about all of the snow was pushed right up on the dumpster. And I
Well,
called
Eddie
Tony.
used to get out and he had someone with him that would shovel. After the plowing would
With a shovel.
would shovel like to your doorway or make that accessible.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah,
Lou didn't.
They plowed on ours. Ours, they hit the plow that way and it was piled up on our sidewalk.
But this was the first time he had plowed
Yeah,
too.
and it was
Yeah.
weird, it was a heavy snow.
Oh, yeah.
It was
I mean, we
an
still got snow out there.
extraordinary snow event.
Taking the
So I
tractor
think
tomorrow and getting rid of the snow.
Just have him to come
We
down.
just,
and
we
Where?
just need
Yeah,
to
up
come
here.
so he knows what he has to do, and I think we need to go.
And he's open to it too.
Yeah, yeah.
First year.
I think it'll be fine.
Well, he plowed it like 3 times because he
couldn't
couldn't
keep
wait
up.
until it.
Well, you don't wanna wait till it's done, oh my God, you never be able to move that crap.
Hey, we had a lot of fun doing it when it was done. We brought our truck out and cleared that lot down on the end, but it was fun. So, but yeah, so I just think next year when we do the snow contract, we give a map and say, hey,
Yeah.
these are the areas that are active. Like us, we were out here in the middle of it, so that was fun.
So the snow contract runs until his contract now runs until
What, March? Are we covered through?
He'll do it on call.
And we'll do this summer, we'll have a new one for next year, right? Or next fall?
Yeah, we'll probably put it out in September, October.
Yeah. I just think it'd be good to give, when we bid those out, put maps of Harrodsburg and say, hey, don't
Yeah,
pilot
we'll get
here.
it.
Just, I mean, we got new people, let's give them everything they need to get it right.
Yeah,
We
originally,
did fine with the entryway and stuff, it was just where the snow was.
originally we weren't gonna bid it out because Eddie's son, who always worked with them, we thought he was gonna do it, and then all of a sudden we found out there was a dispute on who gets what property and stuff like that, so as a default, Luke said, hey, I just wanted to let you know this isn't gonna happen, and we verified it, and Luke stepped in to.
Yeah, I just think we update them for next year, give people maps, let them know exactly where.
Another Nancy map?
All right, that's it for old business. New business, calendars. We gotta get fined. Oh, that's what we were gonna ask about. Jenny.
Yeah, thank you.
She said, uh-oh.
So, is there a way on our Clear Creek Township website to have a calendar with all of our township, like, rentable spaces on it?
Well, I'm sure you can figure something out. So do you want one calendar for Smithville and Harrodsburg, or do you want Smithville to have one calendar, Harrodsburg to have another, and have them cross-linked?
I think cross-linked, because I mean, you guys, what you guys have in Harrodsburg's working.
We could put a calendar on Smithville's website, because Harrodsburg has one on their website, and then we could have like a blurb that says, is your date taken? Check out this location, a nearby location with a link to the other website, and then we can link both through Clear Creek. So every website that you go, there's a way to access all the calendars. The trouble with online calendars, right now the one that I work with, Harrodsburg, I manually input all of the information, and I usually do it once a month. Usually by the beginning of the month, we know who's going to be in there. You might get one or two stragglers. So it's not multiple days, but to manage multiple sites would be difficult. You could build it so people can click on a date, claim that date, and their spot like what you would with an Airbnb sort of thing. But the issue with that is if it's not closely monitored, we're going to have people claiming dates without making a payment or without signing a contract, which means that it is going to need to be closely monitored if we have people claim their own dates, which means, yes, it is feasible, we can do it, but it's going to take a whole lot of work. So we need to consider who's going to be gathering the rental dates.
Therein lies a lot of our problems. Everybody's got great ideas. Not many people.
You can book stuff without anybody. I mean, we have them for here.
There is, and I could go and ask online and get it, but I don't think it would be the best idea for me to be in charge of Smithville rentals. Because let's be honest, I communicate with who knows it, but I don't have the information about Smithville. I could
There's
do
apps where you don't have to do anything. Like they book it and you just get an email that it's book and pay.
Jenny, we've got a system that we're working on installing at Harrodsburg.
The Honey Book?
The Honey Book. That we're also, from what I'm told, we just haven't got Carol. We haven't got everybody together yet. People have been sick. We had snow. That with Honey Book that we can do the rentals directly on there, tying in so we can take the money, give the deposits back. I'm told it's all going to tie in together. I don't know whether we can stay on that same system for Smithville.
Yeah.
And
Is there a monthly
I haven't
fee?
seen it work yet. I'm sorry.
Is there a monthly fee for that type of calendar?
There is. Do you remember how much the fee is for that? I think it's, from what I'm told, it's fairly nominal. But it's, live time, and there again, I haven't seen the system yet. It's what's been promised to us, that the calendar, you'll see what's rented. If you want to rent a day that's open, you can request it. You can put in your deposit. You can pay for it online.
Okay, So you're actually setting up electronic payment as well online?
Yes.
So this is, once they get that done, you would put that up on their website?
I'm not familiar with Honeybook at all. So, but the idea would be that there would be an online app, like you would go to your phone, you could reserve the date, pay for the date. I'm sure there's a way that you could sign a disclaimer, which would be in lieu of like an application or contract for security deposits and coverages. So it is feasible.
Okay,
Looks
so-
like it's $49 a month, and that includes the automation, scheduling, and everything else.
And collecting payments?
Yeah, and it charges, whoever books it, it's charged 2.9% plus a 25-cent fee. But they pay, the person booking it pays your fees, not you guys. Yeah, but it's, $49 a month, and that gives you all the automations, invoicing, contracts, proposals, everything.
Okay, it sounds to me like Harrisburg has their system, we should create our system, and Redmond Hall create their system, none of the three shall meet, which means the committee, we need to
But
talk.
yeah, I mean, all these would come with links, where I mean, you put the links together in one spot, right?
Yeah. So Todd, our committee needs to decide what we want to use as far as the calendar. Right now, you and I kind of maintain the calendar, but,
There's a million different things. Yeah, there's a million different programs.
yeah, so we'll kind of look at them and we'll just make a decision with the committee on which one we want to use and then share that with Jenny so we can get it out that way.
Guess who's?
Oh, I'm sure. I'd just like some way that whenever somebody looks for Harrodsburg, if you're booked, they could see that Redmond and Smithville are open.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's my big thing is you guys have done a wonderful job with your social media and your traffic and that. Let us kind of piggyback on that. So if you're full, we have this great new space here. We've got Redmond, which is brand new. Trying to find Redmond or Smithville on the internet's way more difficult than Harrodsburg. You've got an entire festival that has traffic. We'll get there with the Labor Day and the Farmers Market and the Area Association, but we're not there yet. So if there's some way that the three, and I know communication is the most difficult thing we do here, that all three of these could be somewhere when someone looks at it, they can see Redmond's booked, but Harrodsburg and Smithville are open. Harrodsburg's booked. That's a big thing. We have it at the fairgrounds on our calendar. We show all of our buildings.
But you're all one place.
But you're all one place.
But we're 6 different sites talking to 4 different people.
Yeah, okay.
But it's one
person
calendar.
Controlling all the things. These
Huh?
are 3 different people. I think you're gonna be hard to find a program where it's gonna be right there in the same stream.
I think you can list others, like below the calendar, if your date is.
I think you
That's
say,
no,
if this
you
is
can
full, check this
check
site,
this
but I
site,
think
yeah,
it's gonna
so
be hard
you
to
can-
find something where it's.
But that's what I think. Even if it's just a link to say,
Directed.
whenever that pops up on that date, it'll say, hey, sorry, Harrodsburg's unavailable. You can check this and this. You're going to have a message where you can embed a link. Guarantee you.
And I would anticipate we're gonna have our, everything up, totally running by your next meeting. And
look at
we'll,
it.
we'll have a little bit of, you know, hey, here's how well this is working for us.
3 months, don't it?
Well, you're still going to be in honeymoon period. You won't know any of the bugs by next month. It's going to take you a good 3 months for that. But if it goes up on your site,
I'll be able
see
to
it.
tell you whether it doesn't work or not. How's that?
Well, we better have Pam tell us that because you're going to look at it and go, I don't know.
Rosie wants.
Yeah.
Do these systems still have communication opportunities? Because I answer tons of questions. Because they don't want to rent until they know X, Y, and Z.
They'll say contact me option on there.
Okay, so as long
And-
as there's that ability to interact.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna send you a guy that wanted us to, wait for it, organize a band and cater his wife's surprise 50th birthday party.
They wanted us to do it for you?
Oh, they asked the community center, and I looked at it, and I thought,
I'll do
to
that.
Rossi, and I thought, oh, that would be really mean.
Maybe it's a new business we need to get into.
We want-
Evil.
I wrote him, I said, I think you're looking for an event planner. Let me know if your event planner wants
Yeah.
some space.
Good way to promote evil.
So just to clarify, are we on board for each group having their own individual and then just cross-linking them all? So the
I think we see how
individual-
yours looks and what options it's got.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, ideal world, I would love that it would all help promote everybody else. So get yours up and running. Just text me when it's done, and I'll take a look at it, and then we'll see what the back end looks like. I mean, I'm testing like 6 different softwares for us right now that does the same thing. But yeah, we just, now that we've got this great communication where all of our sites, all of our social medias are posting everybody's everything, let's get our rentals on the same page.
And put nice pictures up of everything brand new.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Like, I need to get people
Gotta sell it.
We need to get people to see this building. Like, I'm proud as heck of it, and that's one of the things I told Cheryl Munson was, she goes, I'm probably the only sitting member of the county elected government that's ever been in Smithville. And if you think about it, none of the people on the current board, commissioners, or council have been in this building when it wasn't storage units. So, I mean, it's sad to say that, but
Have an open house.
that's what I want to do. But I'm going to try to get, we've got 2 more units that are close. Then we'll just have 1. We can show them the current maintenance and say, hey, this is where we started, and then start, get the businesses to do like an open house. But I mean,
Or depending on the bills that pass, you might make a invite to have them come down.
why you got to ruin my day like that?
I know.
We'll get to that here in a minute.
Okay.
All right, mowing bids for 2026. When are we
Tony
gonna
had
put those
sent
out?
us something, and then it kind
Yeah,
of, I
we're
don't
gonna
know
need to go
what.
to a work session. You know, table that for a work session, we can tweak it. I think we just need to remove mulch.
We were worried
Yes.
about the mulch, because you can't do that.
We
If
touched
you
it
let
up.
them do the mulch, you're gonna end up with crap mulch like we did before.
Well, we're going to have that 2 foot around every tree
Yeah,
killing
it's
them.
gonna be a mess.
Yeah. So,
Well, in
yeah.
their defense too, they're not going to be adding mulch every time they mow.
Yeah. We just need
So-
to tweak it a little
Yeah.
bit to get it where everyone's happy.
We'll get, and like I said, just get something together since Dustin couldn't be here tonight.
Would that be adding, like, at the end of the year, leaf removal, in the park?
I think that's,
I don't think
Matt did that this year, didn't he?
Yes, Tony and I
I think it
kinda
got done
talked
this
about
year.
extending the mowing period.
1 more month.
1 more month so that they mow and mulch up the leaves that drop. Because it's not really the grass, it is the leaves, and you do need to do that. And Tony and I talked about it this year and had, Matt come out and do that, but that's part of their tweaking when they do that.
I just think if we stop it, when we stop at October 1st,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then just as needed, the problem we've had in the past is a lot of people just mow every 7 days automatically. At least October 1st comes, we can adjust it. Hey, do leaves instead.
Like August when the grass didn't need mowed for
Yeah.
3 weeks, but we had everybody out here every week, but it was just a
Yep.
dust bowl.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you didn't have those little squirrely things, it's different.
all right, so we'll get that in the thing. The other new business is the meeting next month will be moved from March 17th to March 24th. We had some board members that weren't going to be able to make it, so we shifted it a week so that way everybody can be in attendance. We got a lot of stuff to do, and I like a full board. Dustin, we didn't realize wouldn't be here tonight until the other day. So
He did, I think he,
He had his 17th mixed up.
yes.
So, but yeah, we will be moving the March 17th meeting to March 24th. I think that's the last one. And then on the new business, there are 2 bills going through the Indiana House and Senate. They've each passed their own representative. Senate Bill 270's passed the Senate. House Bill 1315 has passed the House. Neither one of them are great for us. One is a total devastation. The other is we can work with. The State House has made it no secret over the past few years they would like to get rid of townships. There's a lot of defunct townships in the state that are being abused. We are fortunate that we are not one of them. Tony and I were talking about before the meeting. We've actually been brought up in the committee as what a township should be, as an example of good stewardship. So that was a positive for us. I'm lobbying to get that mentioned several more times as they're talking about it. But it's going to be a lot of legwork. Next meeting, we will be entering a resolution to explore merging with 2 other townships here in Monroe County. We actually got the draft from Tony tonight, but I want the full board here when we actually read it and introduce it. But
I think you're introducing it, and then you're going to table it to get the
Yeah.
member here. That way, you can put it in on the record.
basically, they are going to force mergers. They are going to force us to, due to our size, to merge with other townships. Or the county will take over the township, and you will not see the type of activity and services provided that we currently do. We, as a township, are required to have different funds and money used for different things. One of the big things in these bills, once the county gets the money, all designations for that money have disappeared and it goes into the general fund. How much of that do you think is going to come back to Clear Creek Township? When it goes in the general fund, it disappears. So the township, Thelma and Tony have been aggressively working on it. All of the board have been following along with it. Dustin and I both met with people up in Indianapolis that are on the committee, and one of them is the author, to find out as much information as we can. But this happens every year. Tony and I laugh about it. We kind of joke it off. This big hullabaloo comes up. Nothing happens. It gets swept under the rug. This is the first time that I feel like in the next 2 weeks something's going to be approved. They are going to push some type of legislation out restricting and restructuring townships. So
They, you mean who?
the state, the Senate and House.
Republican leadership in both of those.
It's joint, both sides.
It's a controlled supermajority. So on one side, you get a bill out there.
This is one thing both sides. Huh? No, but I'm saying that Senate Bill 270 got Democrat support. House Bill 1315 is getting Democrat support. The fact that they don't even have to vote for it, and they are, is what concerns me. I mean, they could stand their ground. The other side could say, I don't need to vote for it, so I'm going to play to my party and say no. But the fact that they felt a need to say yes on something tells me that. Do what?
But they are his Republicans.
Yeah, the Republicans are going to decide what happens. And it is being pushed heavily. It doesn't help the case that you've got townships that I just read that there was one township in South Central Indiana that spent $72,000 on a business development trip to Dubai.
Well, most of the township we're worried about is right here.
Yeah, and it's going to push Monroe County. I mean, Perry and Bloomington Township will be gone. Van Buren's going to squeak by. Benton Township and Salt Creek will begrudgingly have to merge with somebody. Us, Indian Creek, and Polk will have to merge. Polk Township will be gone no matter what bill.
Well, that's what we're proposing.
Yeah, we're exploring merging with Indian Creek and Polk Township, which would remove us. They're doing it on a point system. Our big sticking point for us is population. You need 61 or 6,300, 6,700 to avoid merging. Joining with them would put us at 6,900. So it would get us just outside of the points. The good thing is a lot of the points are based on state filings, monthly filings, annual reports. We are locked in on that. The other focus on it is how many township assistance applications you get in 2023 and 24. Tony provided the numbers. We are well above the minimum. So we're doing everything, the office is doing everything they're supposed to do, but it depends on how they decide to weight population, which is the one thing we can't control. So if the population limits stay in, we're going to be forced to do something. They snuck in a little provision that says that no action can be taken by a township during an election, which in it.
They again, right?
Yeah, the state. So,
appreciate that.
I think so. That's going to be my buddy.
But it snuck in a provision that says no merger or decision can be made during the year of an election of the executive, which is Thelma. So nothing can be done this year. If the bill passes, it retros that date back to December 31st, 2025. So they automatically kick it back to last year, which means you can't do anything until January 1st, 2027. So there's a lot of verbiage in there that they've thought of a lot of the loopholes people are going to use. Tony and Thelma have reached out to the foremost township attorney, I believe. This guy is good. He's helped townships merge before this to preempt it. So they've actively looked at ways to help save our little township. And there's still the holy football option, which is if everything passes, we can still submit a resolution to the county commissioners and say, hey, we're doing what we're supposed to, we're doing it right, and they can exempt us from it. But working with the county commissioners
is a coin flip.
Yeah, when you're talking about dollars and they're at a major shortfall, we're an easy grab. So, but there are options. So just know that your board and your township office are all aware of it, and we are actively engaging every bit of information we can get. But we're
So
trying.
for this year and next year, last 2 years of this election cycle, the budgets that are put into place, we can operate as though we've got our heads in the sand and nothing is going on. So we can allocate to try to get this building finished, to do the improvements at Harrodsburg, to do the improvements at Redmond Hall. We can look at trying to see what we can do now so that we're in a better position should the sky fall, is the word you can say.
The biggest concern for me is the verbiage in the bill. The county takes ownership of all township buildings.
Does it
Harrodsburg.
take ownership of township buildings, but if there is a not-for-profit that is running that building, will that make any difference?
We'll find out, because the Showers building's going through a similar thing right now where they bought the Showers building. There's actually 2 lawsuits against the city right now for trying to push people out and take over the buildings that they got.
Whatever happened to, don't I remember back in the day, where you used to be able to buy a building for $1 because you were using it for certain purposes? Can a not-for-profit buy the building for $1 from the township, and then they have to take over but if they give it up, they can't sell it, they have to give it back to somebody, so they give it back.
There's a lot of legislation that's sticky right now. Like I said, CFC went in and signed long-term leases with the people in Showers building. Now the city's coming in and claiming, I forget what it's called. I'm going to say it wrong, but it's like inventive condemnation.
It's like an eminent domain thing.
It's a roundabout way to do eminent domain without saying eminent domain. But there's 2 lawsuits. The Board of Realtors and Warrant Technologies have filed a lawsuit against the city that should be finalized probably this week. CASA was smart. They took a great buyout and got a lot of money to look for a new home. But these 2 particular businesses are fighting the city, and we'll see how the state sways or the courts sway on how that happens.
So the county ends up with the buildings, and you've got renters in here. They're not going to throw the renters out because they're not going to want.
100%, this building will be a substation for county highway within 6 months of this happening.
I think you're about 5 steps too far.
That's awful scary.
I think
It is. I mean, if you think about it, the county's all about getting areas.
we're going to know in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, and nothing.
What's going to happen?
I mean, I don't think it takes effect until 2030, but you've got to plan for it now.
Yeah.
You have to plan for it now.
And there's
Well,
all
wait till
those
2030.
Huh?
Am I going to be looking for a new spot
Now,
this time next year?
Why
I'm
am I
just telling you,
renting
it's-
places out?
Huh?
Why should I rent places out?
Because we can sign them into long-term leases and figure it out. But, you know, there's
We're
real
looking-
implications.
That's why we're looking at that.
Huh?
We're looking at that.
That's why we're concerned about it is there's a lot of people and businesses that are going to be affected if the state does it. Yes.
Thelma's got something to say.
No, Rosie.
Rosie.
So I've been attending meetings in Ellisville since I lived there. And they're merging their township with their town, which they have a town. And they have total square, they have 15,000 people. I think it's 8,000 in town and 7,500 whatever. They have a lot of commercial. And I didn't know this, Thelma probably has known this, but since 2011, Zionsville and Whitestown merged years ago. The most recent one is Sheridan and their township merged, which is just north of Carmel, so I understand. But they said, the lawyers that were there said that they have done this since 2011. Several have, the towns and the townships have merged. It's kind of scary. Steinsville, which is a different township, but it's up with Ellisville, they had and I shouldn't even speak this out because I'm not totally sure, but their taxes are going way up because they lost their fire department. So I've been sitting in on some of the meetings, and they're very, very concerned because their town is over almost 100 years old. And I don't know, I worry about our historical buildings. We lose our, with the culture. That came up in a discussion the other night. And I said when I was a kid, Lake Monroe was being created, and I remember it well. I was 8 or 9 years old when the dam was being created. How did we find out about it? We had no mayor. I don't remember my parents, and they fought to keep this school 2 or 3 different times, and Thelma will stand behind me on that one. And the culture has to be maintained, or you lose who you are.
I agree.
And they talked about merging of townships, and they said the incidences they had, of course, I think the townships that you're mentioning are pretty close to us anyway.
They share borders.
But they said they haven't been good. The Sheridan one, where they merged the town, was just approved last November, and it was voted on and everything. So to me, this is very worrisome from a historical point of view. And I have to say, without Thelma here, we would have lost years ago, 30 years ago, what we call the Renaissance. We would have lost it still. We were just caught when we lost our school and everything. And this is just sad stuff when somebody just comes in and starts changing who you are.
And that's the goal of this bill, is to join. We don't have a town. We could either, if we were 51%, we could join Bloomington. We're Smithville and Clear Creek are not Bloomington. So we would join the county. And like you said, Smithville goes away. Harrodsburg goes away if you join the county.
We've already lost most of who we were.
Yeah.
And our history is so rich here.
But depending on these bills, there are different things set in play. It's like almost like a chess game. We think one thing, the state does the other. We see this out, they cover it up. So.
But the point of bringing this up is just know, between the board and the township office, we are doing everything we can to put ourselves in a position to save the township.
I just know how the Ellisville people are. But there was some people that came to a meeting not too long ago, and they were very upset with what's going on, and they're worried because of not just the businesses there, but their rural. You know, what happens to their peace that they bought land to be peaceful, and then all of a sudden it's going to be, so it's concerning.
So what does Diamond Dynamics, Amber Clark, Indiana Security, what do we tell them at this point? Just hang on.
I don't think you tell them anything at this point. We don't know anything
We'll
at this
know
point.
in the next 2 weeks. If it doesn't get done in this session, it will not be done this year.
So we just move forward as though we're...
You're looking at 2 more meetings. You'll have some House meetings on Senate Bill 270. You'll have some Senate meetings on House Bill 1315. I watch every single one of them. I follow every amendment.
Okay,
so
I'm
we'll
just
know.
going to put my rose-colored glasses on.
Go ahead.
And I'm just going to say...
It could be absolutely nothing like it has been.
It'll work out one way or another. If it merges with the county, if it is townships that merge together, there's going to be plenty of time for discussions to go into play, and Lord knows I can talk. So,
really?
Yeah, we don't know.
Well,
Pat would like to talk.
I mean, you guys are acting like this is a surprise to you when we got the governor saying we're aligning with Washington, D.C. He's not interested in anything aligning with the people of the Hoosier State. And that's from the Republican Party, from the D.C. to the State House, all the way down, folks. Why do you not act like this is a surprise then?
This predates...
What it's aligning, they come out and purposely say it. We're here to align with Washington, D.C. We're not here to align with Indiana and have them with those rules modified to fit us. We're sign off stuff for ICE to allow people with masks and guns to enter your schools, your hospitals, And we have to comply
Here's the
with
thing,
them.
Pat, this
Us
predates
having-
all of this. I mean, Tony can attest, Thelma can attest.
Last
This
30
goes
years.
back 20 years they've been trying to do
20
this.
years plus.
What
I
we're saying
understand
is,
all that. I understand.
this is the first time in 20 years that it's gotten farther than what it has.
When we were trying to align with Washington DC.
But it 20 years they've been trying to do away with townships and, but
More than that, it's, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, it's a lot more than that.
I've been
Some
around.
of it's because of the abuse.
And again, I mean, like
Thought it was because
Columbus,
of what?
Indiana, the guy spent $70,000 to go to Dubai. What is Columbus, Indiana spending $70,000 as a township trustee to go to
It's a
Dubai?
heck of a gambling thing.
Like that's, I'm like, where did he stay? Like, is he in the Prince Tower, that thing that hangs over the top? Like, I mean, that type of stuff. You've got the guy in southeastern Indiana who spent $220,000 on cars and had them all in his house. So like there are some townships that are acting with ill intentions, and the state's tired of it. Now, we're fortunate, but there are instances that make national media, and they hate seeing it.
Oh, they know we're here.
Yeah.
You get
Do
top
I?
billing. You get top billing.
Yeah.
Okay, so when can I submit, our committee met, and there's things that we would like to see done here, which is parking. We do need to look at a parking situation and how to take care of that. We do have this unit here that needs to be renovated. We've got 2 units yet that need to be renovated. And, you know, we discussed those in our meeting. We've got the boys' restroom and the girls' restroom here that need to be renovated. So there are still things that we want to have done here. We'd like to know when we can submit these to the board for consideration in the next year, 2 years, so that we can have a party before everything goes.
So, I would think they'd go to the work session before we go to the full board.
Okay.
I mean, would that work, Tony, Thelma?
Yeah.
I think work session, that way, discuss it, and
We're
then,
constantly in a work session. After one project, then we're going to another project, so.
Okay, all right.
yeah.
Then our
But yeah,
visionary,
parking, yeah, when we found out Dustin couldn't be here, we're trying to find a time that we can get together probably next week or so, to get all of us together for a work session.
Especially if we can find out what happens with these 2 bills and we have a good purpose to, and that's the first thing, just defense of the township.
Well, they
Get
got,
everything going.
they got a big meeting into this week, so.
So does that mean that Redmond can resend theirs in to what phase 2 is and Doc Mitchell? Because we need to do something about it inside of Doc Mitchell's building before we lose some historic stuff. We should maybe just move it out.
Yeah, I would say be ready in March to bring us what you've got, get it to Tony,
Yeah.
Tony or
Go ahead and
Joanne.
Just resubmit it now, because if we start getting into work sessions.
Do an email, or is that
Yeah.
what you'd like us to do?
Yeah, and then we can get
Or
it on
do the entire board too.
Yeah, do the agenda, get them on the agenda, and then we can bring it to the full board for March. But yeah, I mean, don't hold back. I mean, I think I told you guys at the end of last year, don't hold back. Send us your wish list. Worst we can say is no or not this year, but tell us what you need. I mean, we're making tremendous progress in this township, and I don't want to see it stop. So, regardless of what happens at the State House, we're going to keep plugging along. And if they say you're done if you're done in 4 years, we're going to spend every tax dollar in this township on everything that you guys want. So, like, it's your money, it's not our money. So,
Well, there's things we can do to keep everything going, even after the
that's
worst case scenario.
right now we're in what if stage. When we've got definitive answers, you'll know. But
So the pad that goes out the front door, is there anything, because we're getting a lot of debris into the.
Didn't we have that bid?
The concrete pad there.
You've got a quote in there.
Yeah, you've got a quote.
How much was that again?
I think at 5,500.
That's not
I'm not sure I saw it.
I wonder if we can get at least 2 more quotes and see what.
Yeah, we're in.
Yeah, because that was an issue. Before that was even done, we tried to put it in. Yeah. Well, not handicap, but I mean, the water is going in underneath everything too. So.
Water, but that door's not accessible.
True.
Well, the way it swings out, and so the idea was not to change the door.
Didn't we work with the county on that, and they were going to put in something down through
Well,
there?
somebody from Hunt County Highway came in to,
It's
and they were
on the
supposed to.
road, but I don't think for also.
That's probably something we need to pick back up.
They were talking about maybe a little container wall, sort of, but for us, it's also how do we make that door easier for people to get in and out of? Because
And
of the
Court
way it
gave
swings.
you a bid for.
So the idea was to get rid of that flower bed and
No,
trees.
Reconfigure it. But yeah, we can see if we can get 3 bids on that. And
Yeah.
Yeah, bring it for the March meeting,
yeah,
right?
March meeting. Plan on Harrodsburg, Smithville. I mean, heck, even the food pantry. Let us know what you need.
Yeah, but get everything in
I'd
now.
like to give you some information about that.
Yeah, I'll be available afterwards. I just want to, anybody interested, if we've got some, we'll show you what we've done in the other end of the building just so you can see. I mean, you guys see it at but then I'll hang around. I'm going to be here till probably 10 or 11 o'clock tonight. So,
Aren't we going to have an executive session?
Before you close, I'd like to share some stuff with you.
Yeah.
About the pantry. The only one thing I would like to ask with this conversation about this building, how did you obtain this building?
I'm sorry.
How did you obtain the building originally?
I had to suck up to the county commissioners.
The reason I'm asking, I was on the committee that originally got this building for $1.
For the
When it first
basketball.
took it over, we still had the basketball stuff in here. And I'm just curious because they sold it to us for $1.
Who sold it to you?
So
The county?
to the committee that we had formed at that time, about 7 people on that.
Was it?
So I was curious how you obtained it, if you done it through them or you went through the county again. Because I don't know whether it was abandoned after I left. I was no longer involved with it.
Was
it
it
was still run by other people.
Was it Smithville Youth Basketball Association, Inc.?
Yeah.
I think
So I'm just
they
giving you-
transferred it to us or something.
I'm just giving you some
That's going back
information. You
some-
might want to look at that and see how that transpired. Now, if you went to the county and you paid $1 for it, it may not be legal compared to what they'd done before, is what I'm saying. Okay?
So you're saying it may not belong to you?
You may
the
not.
county. It may belong to itself.
I want to share this with you. This is information about the pantry and what's taking place.
Oh,
It's in the last 6 months. And
Okay.
for you, the people who don't know that I'm Lee, and we kind of overseeing the pantry. First thing I want to say, I appreciate you guys giving us that space and taking care of all the utilities for us. It's been a blessing. That matter has been a blessing to us. We have had help since we took it over, somewhere between 50 and 60 families. Some of them not as often, but others come about every week. So we have passed out, I think over, probably at this point, over close to 7,000 pounds of food. I think that says 6,300 pounds of food. We've had a lot of support from the community. You guys supported it at Christmas time, and we appreciate that. That helped with some purchases that you guys recommended we do. Almost all those are gone, by the way, they've done pretty quick. It's been a success for us, for people in this room that's participating in that, along with that. But there is a few things I'd like to get clarified because we just kind of walked into this from Peggy. Okay? So bless her heart, they've done a great thing with that. One of the things that I've talked to Heinz about this is the parking in front of that walkway. And you corrected that, I appreciate that. But here's what we're running into. I'm afraid somebody's we take carts out there of food. I'm afraid that somebody's gonna hit somebody's car, which you're concerned about the insurance end of it a little bit. Afraid that somebody's doing it, and then we're gonna be responsible for it. I would request that be blocked off, no parking. A section in front of that sidewalk. And the other reason is, for my purposes, and people who bring us food after hours, we're over here 4 or 5 times a week. But people calling and wanting to drop off food, but we gotta come in, and if there's cars parked in, I gotta go around those cars in the snow and whatever, to get stuff inside that can't be left outside. So if there's any possibility we could get something done like that, it would be a big help, to us, to get that blocked off, that sidewalk, at least 1 car space, that we could back in there and do that. That's something.
yeah, because if you've ever tried to come in on a weekend, you can't access that into the building
So
on a
make it
weekend.
a loading zone right there in front
Yeah.
of your door, so it's.
yeah,
open
it's
for-
your door.
Or
You're-
temporary parking or something, or?
And I know the pantry's open, by the way. It sounds like you're involved with the website and stuff. The sign out here you gotta take that sign down. That sign out there it's got the wrong information on it anyhow. I heard there was some
I
comments
would
about
like to
that.
find a new sign to go.
Yes.
on.
Right.
That's in discussion.
Yeah.
And the hours is wrong on the website. It's open from 10 to 12 on Mondays. And I've requested that to be changed, and it's not been changed, I don't think. So if we could get that changed so people would know what we need to have, to have some. Do we have a map of Clear Creek Township with roads and that kind of stuff on it? Do you guys have that?
Mm-hmm.
It's on the internet too.
Yeah, we've got one over at the township office.
It's not a very good one on the internet. I didn't know if you guys had something that we could use. The reason I'm asking is, when we took this over, I was told that we was not serving anybody except Clear Creek Township.
Who told you that?
Yeah.
That's what we was told. It was strictly for Clear Creek Township. So now I'm trying to figure out why. Is that true or is it not true?
No.
That's
No.
not
We
true.
can serve anybody
Yeah.
in that.
Yes.
I think you're there for anyone in need.
Yes. Yes.
Polk and
It is
Indian
not.
Creek.
I mean,
Polk and Indian Creek. And actually, if someone from Perry or wherever, we can't turn them away.
or even
We don't
Lawrence
turn them
County.
away.
Yeah.
Or Lawrence County, yeah, we're as close as we are to Lawrence County, we do.
This form was it was left in there and it's sitting outside. I think it's similar to this form. You got, we have something updated or now, or not, but then we let them have food, but then we give them one of these and we give them information where they can get it into their area. That's kind of embarrassing to us.
Say that again?
To have to do that. So
Explain that again a little bit slower so I can follow you exactly what you're talking about.
This,
No, you were saying the process of you're giving it to somebody and what was,
but we don't stop them from getting food. If they come
Right.
the first time, they sign in, we get their information as far as where they're coming from. And then if it's outside of Clear Creek Township, what we have been doing is let them have the food and then give them the information such as this or the other, we've got another pamphlet we give that lists all the trustees in this county. And give them that and tell them that that's where they need to go.
Can you tell them instead of that's where you need to go, that here's some options
Additional
that may be
resources.
closer?
yeah, additional resources.
Yeah, these are additional resources that may be closer.
That's what we tell them.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
that
don't-
is much better because
Yeah.
you're not turning them away, you're just giving them other options.
Yeah, but me and Jackie's not there all the time. Well, we're there about every Monday, but we don't stay. And we have a lot of other people that's filling in. And I can tell from them that, they don't want to tell somebody. They do that.
We can help you come up with a brochure or some type of
Right.
flyer.
Yeah, don't ever turn anybody
Well,
away.
we're not turning.
Yeah, well, I mean-
We're just encouraged to go someplace else.
Yeah.
So, if that's okay with you guys, then we'll go ahead and take care of these without any more questions about that. Would that be agreeable?
Yeah.
Yes.
Think of anything else?
Okay, question.
Nancy?
Yes.
Do you, what do you do, is there, because you know how everything is. I can just see somebody just going to every township, wherever they can go,
They do.
and then turn around and sell it to
They
get
do.
some money.
That's not everybody.
There's
I
no
guess
way
there's
of
no way you can
there's
stop
no
it.
way of,
No.
no.
I think that's not the rule. I think that's an exception to the rule. And if there's that.
That's
if
on-
there's
that's-
a-
that's on
if
them.
there's in a different way.
Yeah,
it's
that-
not.
Yeah, and we give you the right to reserve.
Let me kind of tell you what, and I'm sure we're sure to cover it, because I know that happened.
It does.
With it.
Yeah.
But our approach is, that's not my responsibility, or that's the,
Yep.
it's up to them if they need to do that kind of stuff.
And you wanted me for what?
Yeah, exactly. But of all these people that we've had, I can only think of one instance where I felt like they was abusing it. Most of these people really need what they're getting.
Yes.
I mean,
They appreciate what they get. We have a 30-pound limit. Well, we don't hold that to 30 pounds, we can't get any more.
Wow.
But you can see a lot of people, they know that, and they're careful of what they do. And so I don't think it's a big issue. I know some people have said it was, and there's some things that maybe happened before we took over that made you think that.
You know, people put forth a different image. You don't know their life. You don't know what troubles they're going through. And when they go into a place like that, that's hard. That's hard to go in and ask for help. And I think to try and make it as easy for them as possible is what we're supposed to do.
Yep.
The one issue that we're having in there,
Yeah.
it brings up, that school does not flush very good.
It's that end of the building. It's in the new bathroom today. The women's bathroom is having issues, so Travis is going to look at it. I think there's something messed up with the plumbing right now. Travis was made aware of today because our girls came in and were like, that bathroom's flushing awfully weird.
Something going on there.
Okay,
Yeah.
Travis will take a look
Yeah,
at it.
I mentioned it to him today.
We'll just have him check out the bathrooms right now. It could be that the water with the snow, our nice snow
This has been
melting.
going on for quite a while.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we don't get used much, but it would be nice if it, and I'll stick around here a little bit if anybody has any questions about it, or if you want to share in that ministry, feel free to let me know.
I will say that, I mean, I'm in here generally by 8 a.m. every day, and by 8:30, especially around Christmas, you'd have 15 or 20 cars out there waiting on you. Like it was not, the need was not short, especially during the holidays. So
Well, it's actually kind of funny, kind of after the holidays, it kind of slacked off but this week was, I mean, a lot of food went out.
Last week I was like, were they even open? Today I came in, or yesterday I came in and I'm like, nope, they're there.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, and as you've seen, we've cleaned up. We've only got 3 cars out front now that park on the end. I always put my truck on that spot by our door, and everybody knows nobody parks past it. But I'm like, if I can keep mine on that end, that keeps your whole end open.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, so we're trying to be good neighbors, and I made it very clear to all my
Well,
staff.
it's not just you guys, it's this baseball, sorry. But when the baseball, the people, they're parking all the way down through there too.
I did have a gripe because I came in Saturday and Sunday this week and had to park around back because I couldn't even get to my office.
So that's ridiculous.
So
It's not so much on Monday, it's during the week when we're having to make trips over here, and there's no place to get to that, we have to carry stuff around cars or whatever.
So we've told our people to park in the gravel, not to leave anything up in the front. So any of my night shifters that come in now to get a vehicle or meet and ride, they're supposed to be parking in that gravel, and if that's not happening, then let me know.
Well, here lately, I haven't seen anything from you guys.
I made it pretty clear that if you don't do that, it's going to be an issue. So
Do you know what he's talking about to block off so he can get in? Do you, okay.
yeah, it's basically from the propane tanks to his door.
Okay.
Basically that whole end down there. Yeah, I know right where it's at. If we put those bollards in, that's going to end up ending that real quick.
I just want a spot in front of the sidewalk, big enough for a truck or a car to put back.
We can do that. The only thing we can't do is we can't make parking spaces in our lots. Then we have to go ADA compliant, and you lose a lot of spaces to it. So Aaron was out measuring the other day with your committee, and he was talking about that. And he's like, no, we're not talking about marking it, but maybe a bumper or something to give guidance. Because it is, I mean, I'm going to take the tractor tomorrow and clean up all the snow so we gain about 10 more spots out there because it's just not melting fast enough. But it's, during the snow, it was rough.
Thank you for this, by the way. Thank you.
It gives you some information about what's going on. I thought you guys should share that.
Well, and we need that because this is the kind of stuff when the state comes in, we can go to them and go, here's what the township's helping with. Like, we don't get, but this is what they want to see. Far too many townships aren't doing this. We are. That's why anytime when Jenny mentioned gloves and that for the Harrodsburg or for you guys, yes, like you don't come often, but when you come, it's for a need, and we need to make sure we fulfill that.
Now the Grace Center, with their agreement with the food pantry or the food bank, that's how they're dictated. Indian Creek, Clear Creek, and Polk, but they'll also go outside that and just give resources. But that's where they got that first, and this has always been considered. You come, you know, there's no restrictions or boundaries.
As I say, I was looking at some of your donors, and I'm like, some of those aren't from Clear Creek, so yeah, some of those aren't from Clear Creek, so
The donors?
yeah. But no, we appreciate it, and like I said, you came over that one day. I could tell it was aggravating you, so we put a stop to it that day. I called Dustin. I'm like, man, is he always that angry? He's like, I've never seen him angry. I said, I did. So Dustin laughed.
I think that was the third time.
And you know what? I had a conversation with that employee and I said, do you like your job? Yes. I said, do you like your paycheck? Yes. I said, if I ever see your car on that side of the building again, you're done. She is now parking on the far end, as far away from that food pantry as possible, even on Thursdays. Because I was like, every Monday, don't do, well, it's Monday. So now she parks on the very end and she's got her little spot. Nobody messes with it. But yeah, because it was that same girl and I walked into her office. Oh, I was like, I just told you. So, yeah, it was being out here. It's interesting seeing, like, you hear about it. And this year we were heavily involved in Pantry 279 and a lot of their stuff, and that's where we saw a lot of it ended up on Marketplace. We served 3,000 people, I think, over 2 days, and I was seeing a lot of it on Facebook where looking to sell a ham, looking to sell a turkey, but it's. The need was far outweighed by any of those stories. And talking to the ladies that run Pantry 279, they're like, it's there, but it's a small enough fraction that we keep doing what we're doing. So, and like he said, that ain't for me to judge. I don't know what their story is, and I ain't worried about it. I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to. So they'll abuse everything in this world. You just got to do what you got to do. So, anything else for additional comments?
Well, yes, Harrisburg selling applicators for the.
On a side note, we do have the festival coming up.
You do.
So, any money we might be needing, we want to get it to you for the work session, right?
Yes. And I got your traffic covered for this year.
Yeah.
Very good.
So I got your post traffic covered and your parade covered.
They're not paying any attention to selling tickets. I thought you would.
Look, you don't understand my wife. I got to get that cleared with the boss first. Any gun comes in my house or the chance.
Shows who wears pants in your
I went to Roll King for chicken feed and came home with an AR. I'm lucky I'm still married.
Bigger budget than $10.
Anyway.
I can tell you if you get divorced.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be one of my best friends if I get divorced. I gotta get a bigger safe.
Carter from the Smithville sign. Around there.
Yeah, I am very happy to hear him say about that sign out there because I've laughed for far too many years. We have a food bank that might have a community center in it instead of a community center with a food bank.
We did look at the signs, but they were really awful, and I've got another person that I'm going to contact.
Can I say one more thing?
Joanne's going to talk.
I really like to talk. The signs that have gone up, welcome to Smithville and all those directions, first of all, where do they come from?
We bought them.
And second of all, I've heard some really nice comments about
Patty had actually mentioned it about, 4 years ago? Or 5? And we slowly got our list down to where we got a chance to get it done. And
I like it.
We did it towards the end of the year.
Okay.
Some of the funding.
Looks nice.
Sanders has their signs, we didn't have anything.
Ours are bigger.
Yeah, ours are definitely bigger. I like it.
They're very strong. I love them.
Well, I just like the informational sign there at Strain Ridge and Fairfax.
Yeah.
Like that helps a lot. Yeah.
Want to invite everybody, March 28th, we got a chili and soup supper. I know it's still a few weeks away, but just since meeting's getting moved to that very week, I just want to let y'all know.
You could move the meeting to the 28th, we could go have soup.
Yeah.
First off, when's Heritage Days this year?
15, 16, bank.
I just booked my fishing trip today, and I got to thinking I had that little panic attack after last year. I'm like, mine's the 19th, so I'm good. I'll be here for the festival, and I do not want.
Steve, it'll go on. You can go fishing.
Yeah, but I missed out on all that fish. You guys didn't even save me a piece. I drive all the way back from Tennessee and to get a piece of fish, and it was gone.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to talk to you about that.
Oh, you ain't gonna get this.
It's a long story. We don't need to go into it right now.
Yeah.
Harrisburg needs nothing.
You should have been bringing us fish. Yeah.
Oh, I did. I brought back like 40 pounds of crappie.
It's like, but wait, for a few dollars more.
Are we done? Have we
Hey, any
adjourned?
more questions, comments, concerns? And meeting adjourned 6:46 p.m.